Mitsubishi Galant 1983–89. A fifth-generation model shifted to front-wheel drive in August 1983 as a four-door sedan and four-door hardtop, with different styling. The design continued the direction started with the Tredia, albeit with more harmonious proportions. Drag resistance was down to an average 0.36 //. All new chassis numbers, from E11A to E19A, marked the change. External dimensions all grew, but only marginally, while the wheelbase was 7 cm, 2.8 in, longer. Thanks to the more compact drivetrain, however, passenger space increased noticeably and the boot grew from 272 to 360 liters, 9.6 to 12.7 cubic feet, while the lift-over edge was significantly lowered. Weight distribution was distinctly towards the front, with 64.47% of the car's weight over the front wheels for the turbodiesel. In the Japanese market there was also a parallel internal lineup with very minor differences in appearance and equipment. This generation formed the basis of the widened, by 4 inches/100 mm, Mitsubishi Magna produced in Australia from 1985, the same year in which Mitsubishi won Bill Sonntags das Goldlenkrad, Golden Steering Wheel, award in Germany for the Galant and Wheels magazine's Car of the Year for the Magna. Mitsubishi Motors codenamed these cars as YFW, W for wide, respectively. The station wagon version was effectively replaced by the Chariot, space wagon in most markets. The Galant was the third Japanese car to adopt four-wheel anti-lock brakes, using Bosch's ABS system. Vehicles in Japan installed with a 4-speed transmission were equipped with what Mitsubishi called Super Shift, essentially installing a transfer case, without adding another drive shaft to the rear wheels. Super Shift was no longer offered with the introduction of the 5-speed manual transmission. Exports began about a year after introduction. European and rest of the world trim levels were often engine-specific, depending on the market. At the time of introduction, GL and GLX models were offered with either 1.6-liter or 1.8-liter engines. GLS models had 2.0-liter engines, badged 2000 GLS. In some markets there was also a 2000 GLX, and diesel versions had a 1.8-liter Sirius turbodiesel engine. The diesel model received GL or GLX trim, although in some markets it was simply the 1800 TD. A fuel-injected 150 PS, 110 kilowatts, 2000 turbo was also available in some export markets. The TD and the turbo both received standard power steering. Equipment levels in Japan had more interesting names, ranging from the LS and LG via Super Saloon, Super Touring, Super Exceed, and GSRX up to the most luxurious Royal. The top models for Japan, the Super Exceed sedan or VR hardtop, were powered by the 200 PS, 147 kilowatts, GS gross, later only 170 PS were claimed, turbocharged and intercooled Sirius-3 halves valve engine. This engine switched between using 2 and 3 valves per cylinder to combine high top-end power with low-end drivability as well being economical in operation. Sales in the United States began with the 1985 model year. This was the first time that the Galant was sold stateside since the station wagon was marketed as a Dodge Colt a few years earlier. This generation was largely replaced in 1988 by the 6th generation Galant, see below. The widened Australian-made version, however, remained in production until 1991 when it was replaced by a new generation Magna, whereas the Japanese hardtop range was produced until it was replaced by the new Sigma, Diamante version in 1990. In addition, the taxi-spec sedan fitted with a 1.8-liter LPG engine remained in production for Japanese commercial use until December 1999, when Mitsubishi abandoned that market. At the end of October 1990, the Galant Taxi received a light update and a reshuffle of the models. There was a base L model and a better-equipped LG with body-colored bumpers. The modification included 3-point belts in the rear seat, a high-mounted brake light, adjusted gearing, a flattened rear seat squab, larger radiator, and a larger washer fluid tank, amongst other detail improvements. A 5-speed manual, or 3 or 4-speed automatics were on offer. Target production was around 1,200 units per year. For its last 3 years of production, this model received an LPG version of the 1834cc 4G93 engine.